Your goodwill will come through projections, right? It will come through, as I said, future monetization. If you say your goodwill, God bless you, but you cannot monetize your own goodwill. You cannot capitalize your own goodwill. You cannot bring that. So what is that goodwill that you see? The goodwill that you see is the additional amount that you pay. And some of you are very clear, you are into M&A, right? Second, brands, patents. If there is a limited life for that patent, thank you. If I spent 7 million acquiring a patent and it has a life of only 7 years, so at the end of 6th year, its value will be 6 million. That additional 1 million is your amortization. But please be noted, I again repeat, just for my comfort, it is a non-cash expenditure. And the beauty of that is, it's a brilliant tax shield. And I will talk about as the day proceeds. I'll share with you a working model. Since Mr. Sanjay mentioned that, I'll share with you a small critical financial statement analysis, which I'll not like to share. I'll show it to you, right? Please understand that tax shield benefit is extremely important. That will, the depreciation helps you, amortization helps you to save a lot of tax. I think professionals like me, Mr. Saraf, we can help clients not by possibly giving them production methods. We can help them by looking at some financial restructuring. And one of the restructuring that I believe I could add, I am trying to keep on adding to my clients, touch wood with moderate success, is how to optimize their tax shields. And this you need to understand. Remove this. I will be coming back to tax shields, and I'll share how valuation changes because of tax shields. Right, as we proceed, before we end today, you will have minus DNA, which will come to what is known as EBIT. Earnings before interest and tax. I like to continue forward. Earnings before interest and tax. Yeah, one sec, before I continue. So sometimes they also call it, especially you, since you brought in that perspective, thanks for that. Sometimes it is also called as operating income. EBIT, sometimes they may not say EBIT, so you should be very clear. Thank you for setting the agenda for the day. You wanted to know the lingo globally used. Sometimes they may just call it as operating income, or Ganeshji, they may also call it as operating profit. Please note, it is, Sanjay sir, globally if somebody says, I've been having this problem. Somebody just comes in, Nitendra sir, and says operating profit. And I am like wondering what is this gentleman trying to say. Prasanna sir, it is EBIT. Earnings before interest and tax, right? Please note, in India we say EBIT, EBIT, EBIT. Globally they just say operating profit, operating income minus interest. I'm just finishing the P&L statement, right? And then from here, I'll do the free cash flow method, take your questions, comments, and then we'll break, okay? I'm through, right? Please make me a repeater if I've gone fast. This is earnings before tax. Allow me to please put it here and finish it off. Earnings before tax minus tax, which is earnings after tax. Extremely important for me to tell you what tax you should take in valuations. What tax should you take in valuations? Minus tax, what tax should you take? Let me just, right? You are, wow, tell me, what tax do you take? Rather, what should you take?
In our industry, we take the, example, if we have, actually, not for example, we have a Europe division and a North American division within our company and an Indian, and there is a transfer pricing also happening. So, the prevailing tax rates in India and an average of the prevailing tax rates for the exchanges that we do in US and Europe, totally put together, we have a subjected tax rate because it's an Indian listed company, so it's roughly around 22 to 23% for this year, but it keeps fluctuating from 22 to 29%. So for this, the next 2 years, projection is 20 to 23%, depending on government estimates. But I'm not too well versed on that.
No, Vishal sir, I want to say something. I still call myself, when I go, you all are esteemed colleagues. With students, I say I'm a student of finance. Vishal sir is very good. One humble, I will give you one humble change, because which I want you to use. Sir. I think I can contribute here. But one sec, I just want to check. What, Mr. Ganeshji, what do you do? Thank you for sharing. Yes. What is the tax rate that you would advise Mr. Prasanna to take? Sir is a strategist, so we need to tell him this. Sanjay sir?
What we do is we take both deferred tax as well as current tax into account.
Correct.
Primarily, your tax cannot exceed your 30%.
Correct.
Even if you take your current tax plus the deferred tax, it should not exceed 30%. So 30% is what he says. That's all.
Can I humbly?
Tax rate could be whatever is depending on whether the target is
which country.
whatever is the tax rules of that particular company. I mean, there's no need to relate to the tax rule of India. India will have a tax rate as a deferred tax rate. But whatever the rule is overseas, you apply that.
Senior bit. Yeah, please. Sorry. Please.
See, what happens in India also, we have a lot of tax, like you have GTA and all these things. So you have your tax benefit.
That is when you want to transfer the funds.
And I'll tell you what happens is, when you calculate, in India we have MAT, we have normal taxation, everything is there. So what we do is, we calculate our tax, we take the tax benefit in India, and then we take a tax provision and accordingly we retain the profit and loss. That's how it happens out here.
I like to add something, Vishal sir, Sanjay sir, Prasanna sir, Ganesh ji. Humble request. You can take two things. One is marginal tax rate, which is the actual tax rate. I would request you all, because we are doing a valuation, right? If you're doing it for your own company also, or if you're doing it for a target, please do not take marginal tax rate. Please take effective tax rate, because sometimes these guys enjoy a lot of tax shields. Thank you, sir. And you used it, sir. You said it, tax benefits. I am only possibly simplifying it. Please note, you should not use what is the marginal tax rate. The entire, sir, I will show it to you. Believe me, why am I saying all this? I'll show it to you. I'll not share it with you. I'll show it to you with a client. Thoda bhi agar 3%, 4%, 5% difference, no, your valuation changes. Your valuation simply changes, right? Please note, you have to take what is known as effective tax. What is effective tax rate? Is this guy enjoying, right, the provisions of MAT? Is he enjoying some carry forwards? I will talk about carry forwards a bit later. Is he enjoying, right, maybe a tax subsidy? A simple case, and with your permission, I would not like to share the name, right, because it's an ongoing assignment. We are advising a company which is exactly into power transmission. Now, since it is not over, I am not giving you the name, right. One of the things that we have suggested to Kim is, if instead of relocating, instead of being in India, he could possibly put up a subsidiary based in Dubai. And he came across saying, usse fayda kya hoga? Right? I said, we said, rather the group said, right, would you be able to manage the manpower? Would you be able to? He said, yeah, this sourcing and all I can manage. But then he said, came back and said, what's the benefit of this? The first clear benefit of this is tax. And moment your tax rate changes from 33% down to somewhere around Dubai, we keep saying is 0, but if you look at it, notionally it comes to 1 or 2%, but okay, even 33 down to 2%, his valuation just shot up like anything. It is not, I'll raise my voice as far as possible, it is not marginal tax rate. You will have to bring in effective tax rate. Can somebody tell me a very simple thing, since I'm on the topic? What is happening around us? Why do companies keep merging? Okay, what is the success mantra? One of the success mantra of Mr. Mittal, who is now grown to be the king of steel. What has been his mantra of success? This is one question. Second question is, what could be a target for us? What could be an ideal target for us? Can somebody think on those lines and tell me what could be an ideal target on this? Because then I can give you two more practical aspects and define free cash flow.
Always bought loss-making companies and big companies all over the world.
Pleasure having you here, sir. Mr. Mittal, right, I'm only saying loudly what colleague said, was only targeting loss-making companies which he could turn around. But what's the benefit of identifying loss-making companies? So there are two theories that I would like to tell you. I'm not a strategist. I'm a finance MBA, 17 years finance, yeah, but I interact with a lot of strategy colleagues, so I get an idea of how they talk. My core competency is finance. Thank you very much. Here there are two strategic concepts which come in. One is what is known as value creation, which respected colleague talked about saying turnaround. So if you have a loss-making unit and you can turn it around, better. There is one more concept which I think is equally, in some cases, slightly more than value creation, which is what is known as value capture. I hope after this session there will be some more value add for you all, especially if you are operating in tax zones like India. I need to tell you, sometimes you would have some very funny ads, which I don't think is funny at all if you understand the concept, which they say available loss-making company for sale at a premium. And you are like, how is this guy asking for a premium when he is loss-making? Sir, it was a stunner for me when I joined the industry in 90s. Because I came in from a background where I was educated like you in value creation, synergy, mergers, synergy. And then I come in and I look at guys who comes and tells me, Menon, try and go down to your distress asset cell, try and identify loss-making companies, and then see if you can turn it around, but I want only loss-making companies. The fact is, if you have a loss-making company, what is the benefit of that? Yes, you can turn it around, brilliant, but there is a simple tax benefit that you can have. Suppose, can I, with your permission, rub this part, since I have finished this, because I want to take the next sheet and show you what is free cash flow. Please understand, if you are, God bless you, your taxable profits are 100 crores, and you acquire a company which you can turn around, but which has a loss of, let's say, 30 crores. I don't need to tell the experts here, but I need to communicate to some colleagues, not the expert there. Please understand, your taxable profit is now down to 70 crores. And that's an allowable provision under the Income Tax Act. Because you're talking about a merger. So fair enough. Are you trying to take over the company and merge? Fair enough. What's an available loss-making company at a premium? He realizes that you are taking the benefit. If your taxable profit would have been 100 crores, and let's just talk about a 25% tax rate, just to understand this, right? He knows you're going to pay 25 lakhs or 25 crores or 25 million as taxes. Moment it is down to 70. I'm just taking a minute's pause, right? He realizes that, and he wants his pound of flesh. That's what he says. Available loss-making company for sale at a premium. And please note, my experts would tell me, sir would tell me, if this 30 crores is 300 crores. I think we need to bring this into practice also. One is turnaround, value creation, and also understand value capture. If it is 300 crores, sir, Sushil sir, then to your taxable profit is down to 200 crores, which is a loss, and you can, Sanjay sir would tell you this, you can carry forward this for 8 years. Thank you for that expression. Carry forward from 8 years from date of merger, not from the date of inception. So this loss could have happened in 2004. It's about to lapse. But moment the merger happens, the carry forward starts from today. Modern Foods. I want to give you examples. Thank you, sir, for Mr. Mittal's strategy. Right? Loss-making companies globally, he took soft interest rolls from the government. Okay? If you read the Cold Steel book, you understand the man's strategy. I want to talk about an Indian example. Hindustan Lever acquiring Modern Foods. It's a classic case of absolutely using the tax shield, tax shelter. If you can get this right, I would request you all to understand that yes, it's all about synergy, but sometimes you can also look at it from a loss-making angle.